Last night's snowstorm turned today's morning drive into an adventure. For some people, going to work or school was not easy thanks to icy roads. We get that story from Eric Nelson.
Going from A to B was a tricky proposition today in the Northwest Burbs.
Yeah, it took me about 40 minutes. Usually it's about a 20-minute drive.
The road looks like clean, but it's not clean. It's slippery, very bad in the morning.
Snowpacked roads and slick pavement from a President's Day storm.
They were horrible.
Turned normal commutes into lengthy trips.
Be careful.
As drivers tried to cope with highways that resembled skating rinks.
It was slippery. I'm sure people were, had spun off the road or whatever and caused the traffic to back up. But yeah, it wasn't good.
I think they didn't put salt, especially when you hold the brake. Very hard. The car is unbalanced, going left and right. So it was so bad.
I ran into it early. I was coming in from Alexandria.
Mark from Robbinsdale drives a semi-truck. His I-94 trip to the Twin Cities on Monday night became a marathon journey because of the snowy conditions.
And I hit it about Sauk Center, so I had the bad roads all the way in. It took me close to 3 hours to do 120 miles.
Despite the crawling traffic and winter woes, Mark wasn't complaining about his delayed arrival.
I've been doing it 25 years. You just slow down. Make sure you keep your eyes open for the people ahead of you.
There is one upside to last night's storm. This sledding hill now has a fresh coating of snow for people to play on. In Brooklyn Park, I'm Eric Nelson, CCX News.
According to the Minnesota State Patrol, between 9:30 p.m. Monday and 9:30 a.m. today, there were 208 crashes in Minnesota. There were 18 injuries, 155 vehicles that spun off the road, and 11 jackknifed semis. A Golden Valley man has died after a Monday afternoon traffic accident. According to the State Patrol, 78-year-old Werner Ramon's Dodge Caravan drifted out of an exit-only lane on 494 near France Avenue in Bloomington. Ramon's van sideswiped a car before running into a semi's trailer. Ramon was taken to the hospital where he died. No one else was hurt in that crash. The city of Golden Valley is trying to revive its downtown area around Winnetka Avenue and Golden Valley Road.
They've been working for a few years and kind of re-envisioning what the downtown might look like, 5, 10, 20 years in the future, and set aside some money to do some planning work. We've hired a consultant to do some work for us and spent most of 2019 engaging with residents, doing some concepts, talking to property owners. So this today is kind of an interim report, and they'll be continuing work throughout the rest of 2020.
During the Golden Valley Rotary Club meeting on Tuesday, city officials talked about what Golden Valley could look like in the future. Officials say there's a lot of interest in making downtown a social gathering place. Redevelopment plans include increased bicycle and pedestrian trail connections and a shopping center.
We also know the market maybe isn't supporting things the way it used to, and so thinking about what some new uses might be. There's this idea that bus rapid transit along Highway 55 might be coming in the not too foreseeable future, and so adding some uses, whether it's residential or some shopping or offices that would support a future bus rapid transit would be great.
Currently, the city is focused on gathering public input. They'll have a final report at the end of 2020, which will go to the City Council. A longtime member of the Robbinsdale City Council is stepping down. Councilmember Dan Rogan announced on Facebook over the weekend that he is not planning to seek re-election. Rogan has served on the City Council since 2005, representing Robbinsdale's 2nd Ward on the city's east side. Some of the successes during his time on the council include construction of hundreds of new housing units, growth and redevelopment of downtown businesses, and improved water quality in Crystal Lake. A looming healthcare workers strike is called off as the parties reach a tentative agreement. 1,800 HealthPartners employees had voted to authorize a strike beginning Wednesday the 19th. The workers were unhappy with proposed cuts to their health care coverage, cuts described by HealthPartners as modest and reasonable. Workers also objected to reductions in overtime, but a tentative agreement negotiated into the early morning hours of the 18th means the strike is called off. Under the agreement, overtime won't be reduced, health care benefits will be maintained, and workers will see a 7.5% wage increase over 3 years. Well, anyone with extra blankets laying around the house can help out some people in need this weekend. The original Mattress Factory in Maple Grove is hosting a blanket drive on Saturday to benefit the nonprofit organization Bridging. Bridging provides furniture and household goods to people transitioning out of homelessness and poverty. They're asking people to drop off blankets of all sizes that are either new or gently used, but in good condition.
I think there's a great need for it, and some of the customers I've seen in the last 2 weeks noticed our brochures on the desk, and they said, I have many blankets, I have too many, I need to give some away for people who need them.
The official blanket drop-off is Saturday, February 22nd from 9 to 11 a.m. And the first 20 donors will receive an envelope that contains a prize. While the President's Day snowfall created some hazardous driving conditions, it also created some postcard-like winter scenery around the northwest suburbs. Before we go to break, here's what photojournalist Dustin Scholl captured today in Brooklyn Park and Brooklyn Center. Enjoy.
The state gymnastics meet is this coming weekend in St. Paul. Wayzata was the team favorite in Section 6AA and coming into their meet Saturday at Hopkins High School. And let's start with highlights from the vault. Wayzata's Grace Trainer. She earns a score of 9.5, a great day for her and her team. She will compete at state this coming weekend. Another state individual competitor is Hopkins Siboney Reglos. She qualified for state in 3 events, including floor exercise, where she scores a 9.40. To the uneven bars, and Wayzata's Sasha Arney. She scores an 8.975 on bars. It makes state both as an individual this Saturday and with the Trojans team on Friday. Trainer who won state on bars 2 years ago wins the section meet with a mark of 9.575. She sweeps all 4 events in 6AA. Hopkins Avery McIntosh is a state qualifier on the vault. She earns a score of 9.15. Hopkins finishes second as a team behind Wayzata, and here's what 2 state qualifiers said after the meet.
I'm just really glad that all my hard work paid off again this year, and I'm really excited to be at state with my team. I don't know.
It means a lot to me. I've been working really hard this season. I didn't have the best start, but I still qualified for bars. I'm competing all 3 events. Bars, beam, and floor, I believe, but it's okay because vault is my least favorite event.
The Maple Grove Crimson girls hockey team was out to defend its Section 5AA championship with Emmett Blaine with a state tournament berth on the line. First period of this game, and Blaine's Tess Enlow shot goes off a stick in front under a body of the Bengals forward and finds its way into the Crimson net and makes it 1-0 in favor of Blaine. But just 42 seconds later, Maple Grove answers. Chloe Corbin to Lauren Stensley, who scores, and it's a 1-1 game after a period. Early in the second, Maple Grove will score. Sam Nordstrom finding the loose puck and knocks it in. The Crimson have the lead for good at 2-1. Late in the second period, Stensley, a terrific pass across to Bridget Getch, who beats the goalie on the short side, and Maple Grove is up 3-1 after 2. Just over 2 minutes to go in the game. Blaine pulls its goalie. Britton Fussy knocks the rebound in for the Bengals, and it's a 3-2 game. But they get no closer. Stensley seals the game with an empty net goal as Maple Grove wins 4-2 to win Section 5AA. They'll play Hill-Murray in the state quarterfinals Thursday night. Playoffs start this week in boys hockey. Two local squads played an entertaining regular season finale as Osseo visited Armstrong-Cooper. The Wings start fast. Ben Anderson behind the net to Jack Campion. His pass, it's escaped, but Matt Campion buries it 40 seconds into the game. After Osseo ties it, they go ahead as Jackson Dwyer springs Jack Pojar for the breakaway goal. With 11 seconds to go in the period, it's 2-1 Orioles after one. The second period, it's all Armstrong-Cooper. Ryan Bartensher turns the corner and scores, make it 4-2 Wings. 3 minutes later, Austin Kubelback gets a breakaway and he scores, so the Wings take a 5-2 lead after two. Osseo storms back in the third period. Carson Strike scores twice in 18 seconds to pull the Orioles within 6-5, but Armstrong-Cooper holds on to win it. In boys basketball, it was a Northwest Suburban Conference matchup featuring Totino-Grace and Park Center. The Eagles' Tayson Chapman with a steal. He takes it all the way for a layup and foul, and Grace leads 6-0. But the Pirates gain the momentum from there. It's Dane Danger with a block on the defensive end. The big man takes the ball up court and passes to Datavius Frierson for the dunk, and Park Center has the lead for good. Later, it's Jalen Cook hitting back-to-back three-pointers. It's part of a 20-2 scoring run for Park Center. Their lead is 9 points. They go on to beat Totino-Grace 90-75 is the final.